Hi guys, it's Weed It. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I would like to show you how I made these really cute washi tapes. Now there's a ton of YouTube tutorials on DIY washi tape. You can make it from deli paper, from fabric, using score tape. There's just all kinds of ways. But what I did is I went online to Amazon, and I got 6 rolls of this white masking tape that is a 1/2 inch wide, so you can use whatever you want. And this is not really very sticky. It's a lot like washi tape. I'm going to do small pieces so they'll fit underneath the camera, but you can just stick it to your non-stick mat. And I'm going to use, oh wow, just left me, Inktense sticks, okay? And for the first one, I'm using number 1215. And I'm just going to lightly color along here. I'm using the Inktense because once it dries, it's permanent. And that way you can go on top of your washi tape with whatever you want, and you don't have to worry about smearing. So now I've got some water and an old brush, and I'm just making sure that I activate all of that ink that I scribbled on there. And then I'm going to come back in just a minute and soften it up. This is a great way to get that watercolor look that is really popular. Okay, so there we go. I've got it colored, and now I'm going to blot a little bit of that off. So just randomly, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I've taken some of the color off. It softened it a little bit. I am using rubber stamp tapestry stamps. They're peg stamps, and it's because they're small, and they're really convenient. You can use whatever stamps you've got that are nice and small. So this is the shell border collection. It's a really nice one. Let me show you. So it's got a nice collection. I don't think I actually used that one. I'm not sure if I did that. I'll have to look on my washi tape. Yeah, I did a little bit with that one. So let's go through and stamp these. Now I am using archival ink and stays on ink because those seem to they're permanent once they're nice and dry. So again, when I'm creating with my washi tape, I can go over it and not worry. One of these is not going to show up just super duper well, and that's really okay. There we go. I'm trying to get the colors that I used here. So these are the colors that I used with this one: Archival Manganese Blue, Memento New Sprout, Archival Deep Purple, Archival Paradise Teal, and then Archival Magenta Hue. So these are the ones I'll be using. And I think I used more stamps on this C one than on anything else. Okay, and it really doesn't matter what color goes with what stamp, and you can change it up. But one thing I do suggest, get these out of the way, is if I stamp my shell, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, I can't, it's taped down. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to rotate my shell, and if it's off a little bit, that's fine too. I'm not worried about making them evenly spaced. And there. So I've got a few down. I'm going to slide this down so it's, there we go. Now you can see that a little better. So I've got the first down. I'm not going to clean off that stamp yet because I might come back and fill in some more with that. I'm going to go to the next biggest stamp. I work in decreasing size of my stamps. It seems to be a whole lot easier to fill in that way. So when I do this, I kind of check here, or I don't always. This is what made me remember to. If you'll see, I've got a little line right there, and that's because I got ink, let's see, right there when I was stamping. So, right. And that's not something that I'm going to worry about, but it is something that now I see it, I do want to try to prevent it. Let's have one stamped upside down, maybe right there. There we go. Okay. And I will move, I think I'll put in some green that just, this green is not going to show up very well, but that's really okay. This is just seaweed, so it's going to be blurry and just give a hint of what's going on. It just, this ink doesn't show up particularly well on this, but since all we're trying to do is suggest that we've got some green stuff here, I'm okay with it, and I'll be stamping over a good bit of that there. Okay, so now we've got sort of seaweedy look in there. A little smaller. Oh, there we go. And again, checking around here, clearing off there. And I have, now see, that would be really bad to go on and stamp with. I have one more shell that I want to get in, not that one, this one. I'm not using all of the stamps in each of the sets because we're just doing little shells. It's a little clam shell, and this is sort of just a filler shell. And that's it. And now I've got a nice beach washi tape. And pretty much, yeah, I bought the masking tape, but I got, I think it was 6 rolls of this for $12. That's a lot of washi tape. And that's all I had to buy. I've got all the other supplies on hand, so I thought that was a good deal. Now, after I make my washi tape, and I would make it in a longer strip, but think about how much do you ever need lengthwise at any one time. So when I get ready, I will just put that on top of this one, and they come off just fine. This is actually taped around just a piece of packaging. I can't remember what this came in, but it was the clear cover. So I just wrap it around that, and I've got my custom washi tape, which is really, really cool. Alright, let me get these out of the way, and I'm going to move on to the next washi tape. That out of my way. This one is just using the rubber stamp tapestry set called Twilight. Put that down right there. Show you that. See? Twilight. And I am changing the colors that I used on, well, no I'm not, because I'm trying to build my stash. So I am going to go with yellow and blue, which is what they suggested. I was going to switch over to blue and purple, which I think would be really, really pretty, but never mind. Now for this one, I'm going to leave it white. So I'm not going to color it. And I keep playing with the purple like I'm going to put purple on it, and I'm not. There will be no purple on this. So where did my stamp pads go? Oh, blue. Mistaken, there's my blue, and I just had my yellow. These were all organized so I wouldn't misplace anything, and lo and behold, what have I done? I've misplaced it. There's one called Bright Sunshine or something like that, and I can't seem to figure out what I did with it. So much for me being organized like I thought I was. I really thought I had everything lined up. I will go to the next one, and as I'm playing, I will probably find the rubber stamp. I mean the stamp pad that I need. Okay, the next one that I'm going to do is this one, and it's got a bicycle, key, leaf, and pocket watch. And it's called Timepiece Collage. I'm going to use my Derwent Inktense stick. This is 1700, and I'm not really going very heavy with it. I just want to give the tape sort of an old look. And you can see I'm going to remove some of this. I'll do a bit of that blotting like I did last time. Now, I'm only using one color. You could so easily get that beautiful, beautiful watercolor look by finding colors that blend well together and using those. So I just wanted to keep this simple, straightforward. The first thing I'm going to stamp, I'm using Timber Brown, Olive Green, and Stone Gray in Stays On, and Sepia in Archival. So I'm going to use the Timber Brown on the bicycle. And the bicycle really doesn't completely fit. Let me dry this real quick. Try the other one while I'm at it. Okay. Alright. No, the bicycle doesn't fit completely on the tape. That's fairly decent. But, of course, I rock and rotate it, and eventually you sort of get to figure out what we're dealing with. Okay, bicycle it down. I'll put the key in next, and I'm using my Stone Gray to do that. And again, I know that if you've got small stamps, this is a perfect way to use them, to get a little more use out of them. And I kind of like the fact that when you do this, you don't end up with a repeating pattern. Maybe it'll drive people nuts trying to figure out, oh, when does it start repeating? That would be fun. Okay, here we go. Pocket watch, pocket watch, pocket watch, pocket watch, pocket watch. Nice rotation. And I'm going to come in with a green leaf. And again, I'm not using all of the stamps in these sets. There's a couple more stamps that go with this set that are really nice. And of course, I'm not worried if I stamp over something a little bit. I think that gives it just a little more depth. And there we go. I've used the ones that I wanted to use. Yes, okay. But you know that yellow still hasn't shown up. Nice. And then the next one is a floral, of which I have way too many florals, but I love them. That really annoys me. It's like that one stamp pad just ran off and hid from me for no reason. I cannot figure out what I could have done with it. Okay, for this one, I'm using their triple floral dragonfly, but I'm only using a couple stamps. I'm going to color this one too with a green. Now this is sort of a bright green, so when I'm putting a leaf in, I picked forest green. See, that's kind of bright. Start working that color. Might want a little more in here. Okay, and then of course I will take a little bit of that off. Dry that. And the first flowers, there we go. The first flowers that I'm going to use, well, the only flowers, it's just, that's the stamp, and I use it in two different colors. So I'm using it in Stays On Mustard first. Rotating the stamp, and there we go. Now I need to clean my stamp. Because I'm going to come back with Stays On in Azure. Let's put another one right there, maybe like that. Here, maybe right there. Okay. So I've got those two different color flowers, same stamp. And then the only other one I'm going to use from that set is this little vine, and stays on in forest, which is a nice dark green, especially compared to our background. Let's see, get that there. Let's put one there, there. And yes, I'm stamping over, and I've got, look, see, be careful, because I got some right there. So I'm just going to wipe that off. And let's come across like that. And maybe like that. I think we should have one there. And maybe coming in like that. Okay. And there is that floral done. This really, it takes virtually no time to do, and you do get the custom colors. And I'm going to take a minute and wonder if I threw it in the trash. Did I use mustard on it too and I just don't know it? That doesn't change the fact that it's AWOL. Was it not stays on? Okay, y'all have done this. I know you've done it. I am not the only one that has ever misplaced something. You were just there it is. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so now I can do my stars. And again, these are kind of small. Let me try and get this on camera. These are short, so that y'all can theoretically see them. There we go. Moving that a little closer, so that you can sort of see them. And oh, there we are. And there's my manganese blue. Okay, we're good to go. So this is, again, Twilight. These are the two stamps that I'm using. I will first run across the tape with the yellow, just randomly rotating it. Not real worried, because I'm going to come in with blue and do the same thing. So I've got to clean my, I've got to keep that out. Clean my stamp. And this is manganese blue, one of my favorite colors. And sort of do that same kind of thing, rotating, and keep that. I now need to move to my next stamp, which is the big star. And I'm going to dry this very quickly. Just, I want to set that ink. Because I'm stamping on top of it. Nice and solid. And again, continue to rotate. Clean that off, go back to my other one. Yeah, there we go. That one didn't, I'm gonna leave it, that's fine. And there you have the stars. So these make just awesome customizable washi tapes. I'm just going to stick this one on here. You can't see what I'm doing. And wrap it around. So I can make several lengths of this and just keep wrapping it around. When it sticks, it's not really pulling off anything. That's where the new piece begins, right there. As long as you heat set it, like I'm doing with the thing that blows hot air. Yes, that's what you use. You use that thing that blows hot air. Oh, yes, no brain. Thank you for being with me. I hope you try this. This is super fun, super cool. And again, use whatever supplies you have. Yes, I did go and invest in this masking tape. And like I said, I have 6 rolls of this much. I can make washi tape to my heart's content using all kinds of small stamps. It doesn't have to just be peg stamps, but I hope you'll try it. Just remember to try to use stuff that is permanent. Okay, so if you go on top of it when you're making something, then you're not going to destroy your work by having colors smear. So if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, wow, subscribe button for future video. You know what, guys? Y'all have a fantabulous day, night, whatever, and I will see you later. Bye.